Up YouTube, it's your boy Big Cool coming to you from Colossal Boxing Talk, and today I'm coming at you with my second Boxing's Duck Duck Goose video. And the fighter I will be talking about today in this video is none other than Kid Chocolate Peter Quillin. What can I say about Quillin? He was a late bloomer. I think he started boxing when he was 15, if I'm not mistaken. He's 31 now. He's a talented guy, has very good power. But obviously, if you look at him fight, he's somewhat limited from the lack of amateur experience. But he's a talented fighter nevertheless. He's managed and advised by Al Heyman. And as of late, he's been making some head-scratching decisions. Also making some comments about why he cannot fight Gennady Golovkin, or why Golovkin is a high-risk, low-reward type of fight. Before we get into the whole Golovkin and him situation, let's go back to Quillin. First of all, I think he's 31-0, 22, 23 knockouts. Let's look at his resume. He's fought Jesse Brinkley, who we all know was on the Contender. Brinkley defeated Curtis Stevenson and some more good fighters. He's also faced future Hall of Famer Ronald Winky Wright, and he's fought Hassan Endam, the guy who just gave Curtis Stevenson a boxing lesson. He outboxed him in a fight late last year on ESPN, and that's where he won his WBO title off of. Quillin knocked Endam down 5 or 6 times on his way to a clear unanimous decision. Quillin then fought Gabe Rosado, who's a tough, gritty fighter from Philadelphia. And then he fought a guy named Conchi, I don't know his first name, in a somewhat boring fight. And he was supposed to, defend his title against his then mandatory challenger, Matt Korobov, because I did an interview with Quillin, and I asked him, because it was rumors, and I did the interview the day before he vacated his title, and I asked him about Korobov, and he acted like he was just dismissive of him. He acted like he didn't, know who he was, and it was kind of like he was above fighting him. But he did go on to vacate his title, also forfeiting and vacated a career high payday in $1.4 million at the advice of Al Heyman. Since that decision, Quillin hasn't fought yet. I know there have been rumors out there of him potentially facing Jermaine Taylor, which is a horrible, horrible fight. No disrespect to Jermaine Taylor, but even though he's the IBF champion, he beat Sam Solomon, who had bulky knees that night, but nothing taken away from Taylor. He did what he's supposed to do, and he was supposed to be eyeing a fight with Jermaine Taylor. He was in attendance that night at the Jermaine Taylor Sam Solomon fight. He kind of tried to dispel rumors that he was scouting potential opponents, the winner of that fight, but we all knew what was up. We're not stupid. Another fight that a lot of fight fans want to see, myself included, is him versus Danny Jacobs. They're good friends. It will be an all Brooklyn showdown. Even though Quillin is Cuban, he fights out of New York, even though he's from Grand Rapids, Michigan. But he fights out of New York. He claims that heavy, and that would be a big fight. Both guys are tremendous punchers, and it would be a terrific fight. But politics or relationships, we'll get into that in between that fight happening. On Quillin's part, I haven't heard Jacobs say, well, I won't fight him because we're friends and so forth and so on. I haven't heard that. Doesn't mean he hasn't said it, but I haven't heard that. Quillin, doesn't seem interested in fighting, quality guys. He said he want to fight the fights that, bring him the big fights. Well, the big fights are Jacobs, The big fights are Cotto, Alvarez, Golovkin. And I'm not saying that he's been offered the Cotto fight. I'm not saying he's been offered the Alvarez fight, but these are the big fights that he vacated his WBO middleweight title for, and turning our focus on Gennady Golovkin. Every time Golovkin's name is brought up to Quillin, it's always in a reason why he cannot fight him. When I asked him, is he interested in a fight with Gennady Golovkin? He said, yeah. He said they tried to negotiate a fight or whatever, and that Golovkin's people was disrespectful in what they were offering, and they really didn't want to fight. And then later on, recently, a couple weeks ago or a week ago, you read an interview. He says, when asked about Golovkin in a potential fight, he says he's a high-risk, low-reward type of fight. He doesn't bring nothing to the table. He shouldn't fight because the fans want that fight. He said the fans should support him throughout any decision he makes. True, but you have to give the fans a reason to support you. You're 31. You're not getting any younger. You're only getting older, and it's time for you to put to accelerate this process and fight these guys. Whether it's a Jacobs, whether it's a Golovkin, whether it's a Cotto, Alvarez, any of these guys, it's time for you to fight. And I like Quillin as a fighter. I do. At one point, I thought that he would beat Golovkin. I'm not saying he can't beat him now, but I obviously will favor Golovkin in that fight if it was to come to fruition. But I don't know, man. It just seemed like with Al Haymon in his corner advising him, we'll never see him in fights that we want to see. And it's a shame. It really is, because Al Haymon, to a certain extent, is ruining boxing. You can't put all the blame on Al Haymon, because he does do some good things for boxing. He brings exposure to his fighters, whether they deserve it or not. When he was working with HBO Boxing Out the Dark, co-main event slots, main event slots, world championship boxing, co-main event slots. Whether it was triple header opening up the telecast, same with Showtime, and now he'll be doing his NBC boxing, which is sure to be bringing more exposure to his fighters. All the blame can't be placed on Al Haymon, because he can advise you, but you being a fighter, you have to come to a point in your career into your 7th. So you know what? I want to be great. I want to be talked about as one of the greatest fighters to ever lace up a pair of gloves. So you go to Al Haymon against his wishes and tell him, I know this is a dangerous fight, but I'm a dangerous fighter. I'm confident in my abilities to defeat any and everyone placed across from me in that ring, and I want Gennady Golovkin. I want Danny Jacobs. I want Miguel Cotto. I want Canelo Alvarez. But Quillin doesn't seem to be, wanting to do those things. He wants the money, but he don't want to earn it in terms of challenging himself. And I'm all for fighters, like I always say, I'm all for the fighters getting their money, because this is a brutal sport that they're participating in, and they're putting their lives on the line. And I had the utmost respect for them. But a duck is a duck. And Quillin is playing duck, duck, goose, avoiding these top guys, especially Gennady Golovkin. Politics is killing the fight. His unwillingness to fight is killing it. And it's just a shame that us boxing fans around the world have to put up with it. So those are my thoughts on Peter Quillin, and him ducking Golovkin, and also maybe seeming to duck Jacobs. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell me what you think of the video. Did you enjoy it? Do you agree? Do you disagree? I love the feedback. I reply to you at my most convenient time. Like it, share the video, and just keep supporting Colossal Boxing Talk. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.